talking about being woke anymore, or man spreading, or uh, transgendered fluid, fairy, two spirited, monkey muscle, computer, gender, whatever the hell they're talking about a couple weeks ago. It's not being talked about now. Well, why is that? Well, I alluded to this a while ago. I don't know which video it was. I'm not going to look because if you want to find it, you want to find it. What I notice now is that before this pandemic happened, we had it good. The economy was roaring. People had jobs. Money was flowing. But what happened? Pandemic. What did that do? It changed people's mindset. It changed people's way of thinking with social distancing, quarantine, etc. People are not concerned about it. Why? Because there's a bigger problem that arose, and being woke is not a problem anymore. Why? Well, when you have it good, you start focusing on shit that doesn't matter, such as everything that was going on the last 2 to 3 years. That's just the truth. Will it come back? Oh, absolutely. When this thing ends, and it will eventually, what will happen is people will go, okay, now let's start focusing on it again. Now, another question is, will people say, you know what, shut the fuck up? I don't know. I think we were close to that point before this happened, but now I think it's going to be readily apparent that once this happens, or once this pandemic ends and life gets back to some sort of normalcy, what you're going to see is some people are going to, or news media like Vice, the Washington Post, or whatever, are going to start going, hey, what about all these people that need transgendered surgeries? Unfortunately for them, you see, times have changed, and that's more of an elective surgery. Oh yeah, it's not, because what happens is when you have that sort of surgery, when you take, let's say if you're a female and you take testosterone, it weakens your immune system, brings on stress. Same thing with men when they take estrogen and they lop their penis off. What happens? You create more stress. You don't need to be under a lot of stress during a pandemic such as this. Why? Because you'll probably die. Doesn't matter how old you are, you'll probably die. Now, continuing on, will people start to re-employ these woke tactics on people and for cancel culture and all that? They'll try. But I suspect that it'll eventually catch up. And basically you set this woke culture narrative back at least 2 years from now. It'll get back to what it was back in February, if you will, in about 2 years from now, give or take a couple of months. You'll still see articles about it. People won't stop talking about it. But the problem is that people won't acknowledge it anymore. Like, yeah, you know what? We just got through a pandemic. Why are we worrying about this crap? Even the hardened liberals out there, the communists and socialists, are probably going to look back on this and go, you know what? Yeah, that's a concern, but not really. It'll eventually catch up to them, like I said, 2 more years. What does that say for normal people who don't apply themselves to the woke culture? Well, business as usual, I guess. But, like I said, it will come back. Much like this coronavirus will reinvent itself come this winter, like all flu viruses do. I could just end this video and say stay frosty, and that'll be the end of it. But again, it's just funny to see that all the news articles are all Orange Man bad. Even now, the stress level for this guy is probably shot through the frickin' roof. Even during the impeachment debacle, which probably muted the response to this coronavirus back in January, when he finally did beat this bullcrap that was going on, and you had all the liberals in San Francisco and New York City saying, hey, this virus is nothing. Don't be racist. Go out to Chinatown. Have a good time. Mingle with large crowds. When this virus was at its peak, or actually at its earlier stages, if you will. And what happened? New York City, San Francisco have some of the largest cases in the United States. Why? Because if I don't go out, the liberal left will call me a racist. What happened? You got the goddamn coronavirus, you dipshit. This is what happens when you get full peak wokeness in any large population. This is it. When you have politicians and assemblymen and assemblywomen and other people saying, hey, go out, nothing's going to happen. Oh, wait. Yeah, something just did happen. It is what it is. That's the end of this episode. Stay frosty, my friends.